From the Garden State, New Jersey, from one mom to another, it's time for Mom's Talk. Here's Avani.
Welcome, Supermoms, to Mom's Talk. I am your host, Avani, and our today's Supermom guest is a dentist. Welcoming Dr. Amudha Priyadarshini. It's lovely to have you, Amudha.
Hi, Avani. This is Vanakkam from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India.
Vanakkam to you too.
Vanakkam.
Amudha, I have heard a lot from people, and I do feel that you are a very gentle, yet a very strong person from within. What has led to the strength of yours?
Strength, I think patience is very, very important. And being very silent is also very important in difficult times. Being silent gives a lot of strength, actually. You can start from like any kind of difficulty comes, you need to calm a bit and then think for a moment as to what has to be done rather than sitting down and crying and saying, I can't do this, that's it, that's end, I'm going to quit. Those kinds of words should never ever come from anyone's mouth, I think. They should always strive for excellence, and they should think in difficult times like, what next? How can I better the situation should always be the thing that any girl or any women should always keep thinking, because we are thrown a lot of problems on us, and we need to think that like what can be the solution for any problem rather than sitting and crying.
So could you please elaborate on how did you get what about a little bit about your experience that has led to the strength of yours?
Yeah, so I can just tell you that my husband, for people who don't know, like he is an oral and maxillofacial surgeon. He's a dentist by himself. And one fine day on a night, he returned from the clinic. He's a person who drives a bike with a helmet, very particular in wearing a helmet. So when he came back around 10 o'clock in the night, he met with an accident. It was a very bad accident, I believe. I really didn't know what happened. I just got a phone call, and that phone call, I never knew that will change my life forever. So that kind of a phone call, when I received, I was like totally shattered. But then I took a moment, I thought, and I said, kindly take him to the hospital immediately. He's a doctor himself, and they just rushed him and they started the treatment immediately. And when I went there, I was like literally rushing into the emergency room, and to see the love of your life being hooked to so many machines and so many tubes and so many monitors, everything is sticking here and there, and he is totally not responsive, was very, very difficult to see. And I was totally shattered. Like the whole world came crashing down, and then I had to. Then I think that is one time I really cried so much, and then I realized after some time there's no point in crying when I came to know that he had severe head injury. His brain was traumatized so much. Most of his skull bones was fractured. He had pneumonia. His chest bones was injured. Then he had bleeding from his ears and eyes. CSF leak was there. Brain fluid came through his ears. So it was like almost his life was gone. Exactly 1 week after the accident was our anniversary. We had plans to celebrate it in a big way. And, on the next day, when I went to the ICU and I saw him, I could see very minimal eye opening, very minimal, some kind of connection between him and me. And I said, there he is like there alive, and I will bring him from the deathbed.
Wonderful.
I was like, okay. So that time, actually, what happened when I came out and I told that Vivek is alive, I can cure him, like kind of I can see some life in him. Actually, no one believed. Everyone thought that I'm like kind of gone crazy. And then even after 1 week, he did not. He was again kind of comatose.
So did he started responding right after you you noticed his eyes
Yeah,
were opening a
very,
little
very
bit.
small eye opening was it? Very small. I could just see little bit of his eyes because till then it was
Hmm.
tightly closed. He didn't have bone on one side. His skull bone was removed and kept on his
Oh.
abdomen. So craniotomy was done. So he didn't have so, and we didn't know whether he was able to hear, whether he was
Hmm.
alive.
Hmm.
Nothing was actually known then.
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
the small eye opening, small sign was something which
Hmm.
gave me a lot of hope and courage, and I felt that he is there, and from there I can definitely bring him. I was just worried that life should be there, and when I knew that
Hmm.
life was
Hmm.
there, then I had all hopes, and I thought that from that point I can bring him, and however he is going to be there, I'll stick on to him and always be with him. Was the oath that I took, and I'm there with him now. So
So
that is
when he was in coma, Amudha, did you do something? Were you talking to him, or do you think
yes,
something
yes,
that
yes.
you did might have led to his
Yeah,
recovery or him
actually,
coming back?
yeah, correct. The entire family had to come up, pitch in, and like everyone whoever goes and meet him in the ICU,
Hmm.
the rehabilitation started from the time he was in ICU, when he was
Hmm.
admitted, when he was comatized. We used to
Hmm.
go and show whether he sees it or not, whether he hears it or not. We used to record a lot of songs for him. He plays video games and all. So I used to record the music of those video games and place it on his ears. It was bleeding and he had all his leak and all. But even then, we never mind. We just went and placed some headphones for him, and then we showed a lot of photographs. He was not able to initially, when the eye opening was not there, we were not able to do that. But after a
Yeah,
few days, a few weeks, we started showing photographs for him. Then recorded video recorded of all his workplaces. His colleagues used to send their video recording, voice recording. So it was like continuously rehabilitation was going on from the time he was in coma. And I
hmm,
think that kind of definitely gave that wake up for him somewhere. I believe, because a brain responds to sounds, and but I was like not very sure whether his hearing was there, his eyesight was there, because so many problems and complications are associated with head injury. So I was really not sure what was working. But then
hmm.
I think so many things together, put together, somewhere all these positivities joined together, woke him up from coma. And then from there on, we are just keeping on moving each step. And for a person who was not able to get up and come out of ICU, now he is able to drive on his own, is a very big achievement and a miracle on its
That's
own.
wonderful. Oh my goodness. That's amazing, Amudha. So this, you just mentioned how, it helped for him to come out of the coma. After he was discharged, was there some sort of some sort of a series of things that you might have to do, or you did, to
Yes.
bring him to this level? I mean, it's not
Yeah, the
easy, a brain
rehabilitation.
injury. How
Correct.
did you manage to do that, keeping that positivity within you?
Yes. So the first thing that we did was physical rehabilitation. That is, he was not
Hmm.
able to walk. He was not able to get up from the bed and sit. Those basic things, going to the restrooms, using his own things, buttoning his shirt or just putting his shirt or t-shirt, was not able to do. So those things we had to work on, because those are like everyday activities. He has to go to the best
Hmm.
restroom without depending anyone. He has to walk and go. He's a doctor
Hmm.
himself, and he was such
Hmm.
person, independent person, and we need to give beat any person. I think they deserve to live a near normal life even after any kind of injury or any other thing. I personally thought, and
Hmm.
due to this injury, Vivek lost his earring. One side of his ear, he's not able to hear actually still.
Hmm. Hmm.
So with so much of complication, first we worked on physical rehabilitation, because that was important. So physiotherapy was given from when he was shifted from ICU to the ward. We started with the physical therapy, and from then, when he was shifted home, lot of physical. I used to take him for walking and all. Initially, he was not walking.
Hmm.
But then the initial days were very tough. But then, yeah, we have to do something, right? So start from somewhere, take him out first to the restroom. Then those are the small steps, very difficult. He
Hmm.
was even a heavy built person actually. So with that, to manage, take him inside, make him do things, give him bath, then overall shave, do shaving for him. Like everything
Yeah,
has to
yeah,
be done.
yeah.
And when I get the sister or nurse also, he actually totally forgot me. Like because of
Oh.
this injury, he had severe memory loss. I think anyone with a traumatic brain injury will undergo this
Mm-hmm.
memory loss issues. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know whether he knows me or not. So those confusions were there with me. He totally forgot me. He didn't know that we had a son actually. So
Oh.
initially he came and asked like, where is our daughter? He didn't know actually that I'm his wife. So
Mm-hmm.
after
Mm-hmm.
those things have to be reminded to him. So this after
Mm-hmm.
the physical thing, we had to do the physio regularly for every day, 2-3 hours. Physio was going on morning and evening. Then slowly from there, I
Mm-hmm.
took him for road walks because the road walks
Mm-hmm.
I thought had usually our Indian roads, right? It's kind
Yeah.
of yeah, it has all the everything that you need to do in physio. Like there are pits, there are yeah, there are speed breakers. The
Mm-hmm.
tiles
Mm-hmm.
are not laid well. So I think all those kind helped him to come up and do things on his own. So we used to like go for. I used to like kind of motivate him. I'll tell him I'll get you ice cream there. Just 1 kilometer we'll walk. I'll get you juice, ice cream. He's having a sweet tooth, Vivek. So he was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I will come. Yeah. So I used to take him for 1 kilometer, half a kilometer walk, and then get him an ice cream like a kid. He had to be treated like a kid, and then
Mm-hmm.
he used to come only for that actually. So
Only for the ice cream.
yeah, so he was totally childlike, and then
Mm-hmm.
I used to take him there, and then early
So how
morning we
long of memory he had? I mean, how many years long of a memory he had?
initially when he was in hospital. We were there in hospital for 2 months. So at
Mm-hmm.
that time, he wasn't having a speech. The tracheostomy tube was placed here. So we didn't know whether
Mm-hmm.
he could speak or not because the doctor said the speech area was very badly affected. So he might not
Mm-hmm.
talk. So I was like, okay, even if he doesn't talk, it's okay. For me, it was like, okay, my husband is alive. That is the important thing for me. So I was like, it's okay if he's not talking. But then later on, I realized how important speech is to anyone. I mean, any senses is very,
Mm-hmm.
very important. Hearing, talking, everything is important. And then, like after the tube and all was removed, we kind of, when we spoke to him, came to know that like he's having speech, and we asked, "What is your name?" That was the first question, and he said Vivek. I was kind of relieved, like, okay, he remembers himself. He is Vivek. He
Mm-hmm.
remembers
Mm-hmm.
himself. And
Yeah.
after that, when I asked him, like, so what can we do? Like general conversation, very small words, like it's all jumbled words. Nothing was in
Mm-hmm.
sentence, no proper framework of sentences. Everything was jumbled. But in that,
Mm-hmm.
he was kind of asking one of the uncle who came to visit, like, can you get an admission for me? Initially, he was at 8th standard level. Actually, to be very true,
Oh,
his
okay.
memory was
Okay.
only till 8th standard level, and then it slowly after a few days when people started coming, then he said like, I want an admission in a college. Like
Mm-hmm.
can someone help me? I like to join some sports college should be there, very good
Mm-hmm.
sports institute should be there. So he was going on talking that he wants to join in a college. He totally did not remember that he is a doctor himself, and totally it was wiped out. So I
Mm-hmm.
never expected such a kind of thing, and it was very depressing. But I thought it is all
Mm-hmm.
very short term, and it is going to come back after some time. So after slowly, these things had to be worked on.
Mm-hmm.
Then when we finished our physical therapy, simultaneously we took him for a cognitive therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Cognitive
Mm-hmm.
therapy, right? It's basically for planning and like it's like how you plan and organize your things.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
is very, very important for any person. You cannot
Mm-hmm.
just be, yeah, you cannot just be there without planning your activities, everyday activities and all. So I thought, okay, let us go for a cognitive assessment. And that
Mm-hmm.
particular day, I was totally shattered. I was so depressed because someone who was kind of very intelligent and someone who reads a lot and thing was very, I think his IQ was very less. It was so depressing for me. I thought, like,
Mm-hmm.
what is this? What am I ever going to do? He was totally like a childlike, and I was like, that's it. I've been sorry. I was going through that phase. And then I thought, okay, we can always work on whatever it is. Let us see
Mm-hmm.
what is going to happen, because I never had an idea about brain injury. Actually, I never knew like
Mm-hmm.
these things will come. on the way. Like I never thought his cognitive skills will go, and I have to work on it. I never knew. So then slowly we started working. I had very good people to help me out, the psychologist and everyone. They were very good. A very good team we had. And those people, along with them, they told me tips and how to work about. So initially, all the crosswords I was doing, he did not know three-letter words also. I asked him
Oh.
to write. Yeah, so he did not know the alphabets of English, was very tough for him. To make him write A or a B was very, very tough. He did not know. And then I was like telling him, okay, we will work on it. So every day at home, I used to give him three-letter words, like say 5 words or 10 words. And every day we used to revise the words like cat, bat, like that. How I used to do for my son initially. Those things
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
to work for the break from scratch again. It was like bringing up another child. So I was thinking, okay, let us work and see how it is going to come. Anyway, he's alive. For me, that was always there. And then from there, took it from three-letter word to four-letter word, and then slowly progress, like just like child. But he was also cooperating well. Vivek was. If they had no awareness, totally, I think that is the worst thing. Like I think when I keep telling Vivek, you are very intelligent, you are a person who knows to read. When you keep reminding people of traumatic brain injury that yeah, and giving them that kind of confidence and hope that they will be able to break all odds and come up, I think they will
Yeah.
definitely, each one of the warrior, and they will definitely be able to come up. So after this three-letter word and four-letter words and all, slowly we progressed. I used to give this left brain logical thinking books, and every time I used to ask them to work on each one on math puzzles. Then there are so many things like fine motor skills. You need to improve on that because they can't button the shirt, they can't put a shoelace and all those things. I used to do everything actually. So after that, I thought, okay, why not work on the fine motor skills? So we used to time it and keep like within 30 seconds, you have to sort things out. You have to kind of put colors together, shapes together. And they totally did not have any idea of the day, date, or year. So he was
Oh.
back in some 1980s or something. He was like, if I ask him
Oh
what is
my
the year, he
goodness.
will tell the 1980, then he will tell 1990. And absolutely, he had no idea who I was initially.
How
So
did you
he
how did you bring back that memory when he was stuck in those years? How did you
so
do
it is
that?
like, yeah, it's like I used to put up a whiteboard on his room, like just opposite to the bed. Every time it is there with the name, his name, family tree. I used to draw, put everyone's name and pictures there. Then year, which particular year we are there. I had a big calendar where the years are very big. So every day, no other go, he has to see. And whenever I enter the room for anything, I used to say either it is good morning, Vivek, or good afternoon, Vivek. I used to address him like that so that he gets awareness that whether it is a morning, whether it is an afternoon, because he never had any idea about morning, afternoon, or night. And
Oh
he used to
wow.
just wake up because you get that circadian rhythm is totally gone. It's all messed up. And he used to call me with different names. Every day I was named differently. And I think that was so depressing because when you know your husband is not able to recognize you and calling you in different names was very, very depressing actually. But then I was kind of holding on to it and I said, no, I will tell you, tell my name properly, only then I will give you this. Only then. So slowly we worked on that. And the years and all, every day I used to tell him. And then for memory, I used to tell him, like, we'll write down who are the guests who comes and visit you. So I had a board where every day I used to write any guest who come, we'll write the names there. And I will tell them every day, repeat it. Okay, these are your letters. These people came. These are your friends. So we'll work on that. And timers and all I used to keep and say within 30 seconds, we'll play memory cards, memory games and all those things. Like whatever helped in memory, whatever helped in fine motor skills, everything was done. I used to give a lot of this peas and greens and all to help me out to remove and give actually. So
Wow.
that those things
Basically,
were
you
actually
redeveloped the entire thing for him
so
from
I give him
scratch.
kind of actually. So then
I
when
think
he
I
came,
really like this one thing about what you did, Amada, is like how you said, typically people think that physically, if they're fine, they'll stop there. But you wanted to make him back to normal again. And I think that that zeal that's in you is what got him to where he is right now. And it's wonderful to know how the entire journey of how you worked with him. So does he remember you now that you are his wife? Does he remember your name? Does he remember your son's name?
Yeah, initially everything was, he didn't remember anything actually. But then slowly, you know, right? Like typical wife, you have to tell, no, tell me my date of birth. When is the wedding anniversary? How dare you forget my birthday? So all those things were there initially. So I used to like keep on telling him, this is this, that. Just go on repeatedly. Typical Indian wife going on nagging him and asking him like, tell the date of birth thing. So initially, a lot of confusions were there. He
Mhm.
didn't remember at all. Even now, he doesn't remember the dates. I think most of the guys don't remember, so
Mhm.
I forgive for that.
So he's forgiven on that part.
Yeah, he's forgiven for that particular part. So, and he remembers my name so well now. So that is like good. But here and there he remembers. Like when I show
Mhm.
him pictures of our old photographs and all, he used to say this was there. Suddenly from nowhere he will tell, we went here, no, that one. Then so the brain is
Ah.
so confused. It is like a puzzle box. Everything has been put in different
Mhm.
positions
Mhm.
and it's been shaken and just kept it. So it is all there, but placed differently. But then we
Mhm.
accept and what to do? We have to do go ahead, right? We need to
Yeah,
accept those
yeah.
and then move ahead.
Which is
So we are.
really, really hard to do, but you are
It is, yeah,
doing
it
it
is
beautifully.
very hard to do. Apart from that, then this is like an added responsibilities which we
Mhm.
cannot
Mhm.
leave it and go. So,
Mhm.
but we do as a human get such type of thoughts like, can I just take a break and go? Can I just leave all this and go? And that
Mhm.
time, we always rely on our friends and relatives for that. And I think he's got wonderful friends, and I've got very wonderful, good friends with me. So I can always talk it out and I can take break. My sister-in-law is there.
Mhm.
I got a lot of people around me who will be like voluntary telling me like, you take a break, we can take care. So
Mhm.
those kind of
Mhm.
communication was there. So I was like, I can relax some time and I used to
Uh-huh.
just go out for some shopping, some movies, and I'll tell, okay, someone take care. I'm just out for some time, and anyway I have to come back again. That is there, but
Yeah,
that kind
yeah.
of short breaks and self care is very very important.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
talking about self-care, many people fail to, they think it as guilt or they think it as selfishness, that
Mhm.
taking care of oneself and leaving the responsibility and going is some crime or something. But
Yeah.
absolutely no. I would tell, yeah, the first preference that you should always give is for yourself, because only when you
Mhm.
have your cup full you can always serve the other people. Without that, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you can never do anything. So that is very very important. So taking care of yourself, however the situation is, whatever the situation, take care of yourself. Your mental health is very important. Your sleep is very important. Your
Mhm.
well-being is important. Easy to tell you meditate. Very easy to tell do yoga. You will become all right. But when the situation demands, when it is very difficult, tough times comes. No, you cannot sit for meditation, because when you sit in
True.
meditation, you sit in calmness. Your thoughts are only going to be with around the problems, right? You cannot
Yeah.
take away the problems from you. But then we need to focus, we need to channelize, we need to think like uh, the positives and the good from those things. Like, okay, now what next? I cannot just
Mhm.
sit like that. I have to come out of it, right? So I have to
Mhm.
strive. Every day I need some improvement. If I see some improvement every day, that will be the driving force for me. If I don't
Mhm.
see one improvement a particular day, then it means that I will be going down. I will not be able to work on him. So I want improvement so that I can work still further with him. So I started like, okay, today he's able to do this thing. Next day
Yeah.
he's able to do this thing. Okay, then there is improvement. There is some positive in our way of approach. So let us work
Mhm.
on that. So
Mhm.
that is how we had to, I had to take it and go. So from there,
Mhm.
every day was a upward curve. So that kind of an upward curve, when we started seeing, it gives a kind of a very boost. Like, okay, we can
Mhm.
start working on him. He's responding to uh, these kind of whatever therapy is being given, and
Mhm.
it was actually it is a journey, and this journey has been it has made me very strong. It has made me a better person. There are always some positives in all the situations, as I said before also. So when tough time comes, even those tough times will be responsible for something good. Like I was telling, such times made me very strong, and I was able to talk to a lot of people. Even after that, with traumatic brain injury, the caregivers are someone who are like totally burnt out, like they are not having any energy and all, and they have no awareness also. So I used to talk to
Yeah.
those people, those families. I've spoken to them. Kind of those things are positives, right? We give
Yeah.
positivity to the universe. Again, we are sending back. It's more of a ripple effect, I think. So something happens bad to us, and just sitting and cribbing and crying is going to take you nowhere. It's just like on a rocking chair, you're going to sit there. But I think we need to send back good vibes again, so that I've spoken about helmet, head injury awareness, about helmet safety, and all those things I've like kind of spoken. I think somewhere down the line, many people will benefit. If not now, somewhere it will get reflected, and many lives might be saved after this.
True.
So I will keep doing it whenever time permits and whenever I'm able to do it. I think there are a lot of positive things in anything that happens negativity. So we just have to pick up those things and give it back. I think that is important.
That's so true. That's so true, Amudha. You did mention that you have a son, and how did it play out with him? How is his relation with his dad now?
Yeah, my son now, he's in his teens. Okay, usually teen son and dad, usually it is a friction, right? But initially when he came out, Vivek, he was not able to even move. He was not able to bend. He was not able to do anything. But since the computer was totally dearranged in our house because of so many things that was happening, when my son asked his dad, "Can you just fix me the computer?" I don't know from where Vivek got that energy, from where there's absolutely no memory, nothing, everything is wiped out. But he made so much of effort. He came, he bent down, fixed all the wires. He tried his maximum for his son. I think that is kind of love that he has for his son.
Lovely.
Maybe he's someone who doesn't express it. He is someone who doesn't express much. But such ways, when you see him taking that extra effort, I think that is very good for him.
Amada, it's amazing to see how those motherly instincts kick in when you see a person going through some sort of a pain. And I think that is something special that we as women, as mothers, have. And
absolutely true, Avani.
Our listeners, our moms would love to know what your message is for them.
Yeah, I would like to just always tell them that, see, come what may, you don't have to quit any situation and run away in life. There are so many, see, life is a journey, and always do not put your happiness on one thing, on one person. Okay, when you do that, when something messes up in that area, you start to feel very sad and very depressed. Always have different hobbies, different habits, good habits, so that when you keep those things, you can channelize your energy, whether it is negative or positive. You can just put it on many things, and then you get the good things, and from there on, you can start making positive changes in your life. And nothing is actually permanent, they say, right? So don't always think that it is happiness or sadness. Nothing is permanent. When you're sad now, maybe your days are not very far for being happy. You will definitely find that rainbow at the end of the thing. So definitely don't lose hope, anyone. Yeah. And what else to tell? Actually, I'm just thinking like a lot of things are there. So, and to be silent, you need to be really strong. That is one thing I understood. Like patience is very, very important. And especially with such situation, being patient and don't lose hope. There is always something to be thankful for. So when you keep
Absolutely.
thinking that gratitude is very important, I think. Actually, you need to be grateful for many things. When there are so many negatives around us, and when we need to count our blessings at least now and then, and see, okay, this thing is good. okay, that is good. Then I should work on that, think of my positives, and then come from there. Rather than always
Yeah.
telling, crying, and this is not there. Yeah, so look at that, the positive side, be grateful. I think being grateful
Mm-hmm.
makes you more happier, I think. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, those are the things that I think are the
Very
takeaway
true.
points.
Beautifully said, Amudha. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. You have come out as a very strong person, and you always were. And the way you did it, the way you mentioned and the way you shared your experiences with us makes us believe in the positivity a lot. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Amudha.
thank you. Yeah, there is no greater drug than being very positive. Okay, I think it is.
Love it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
yeah. So
Thank you,
that is
Amudha.
something which I really like. Yeah, thank you, Avani, for the wonderful show, and I just love being with you here. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Hi, this is Avni from Moms Talk. Help me spread the word and join me on my mission of motivating other moms by sharing the video. Thank you for watching.